Welcome to this conversation with the Morning Tea Marketing Missus, where we offer valuable tips to small business owners and sole traders to help expand their presence off and online and reach a larger audience. Your hosts, as usual, are Narelle Wright. Narelle is an accessibility auditor, an order. Ooh, she orders.
No.
Myself, Janeen Vosper, I help people stand out online and offline. Lara Arden is our business awards coach, and Jan Roach has two businesses. She's a busy lady, BizConnect Web Design and Over 50s Health. Hey, ladies, lovely to see everybody.
Oh, lovely to see you
too.
all. I love these chats.
Good to be back.
I do too. And even though we've been doing this for 18 months, every time we have a conversation, I learn something from every one of you. It's just amazing how much everyone's got to share. And it's so diverse as well.
Yeah, it is. And we've been lucky to have Lara join us, and we miss Kate so much, and it's just lovely to have Lara here.
Oh, absolutely. Lara always asks very interesting questions and comes in with interesting insights.
Yeah.
A different angle.
Yeah.
We're talking about what our clients, how we help our clients, and then the results that they get. And this has been the last couple of conversations. And one of the questions is that, what do people ask me? What's their main problem? Now, as a speaker coach, a sales coach, I coach on LinkedIn. I've got the podcast. I've got the Women's Mastermind group. Write lots of blogs, do LinkedIn training, and just general stuff. That could be a very long list of questions. But what I find it all comes back to, or branding, I forgot the branding part, is the confidence and the ability and belief in themselves that have something of value to offer, and then how do they get that message out there? That's no matter where it is, whatever platform it sits on. I think is how do I have that confidence, and what am I going to say? And so some people are very confident in themselves, but it's still getting the words right so that they hit their target market with those words, that they demonstrate their capacity to do what they do. And that's why I keep saying to people, don't tell people what you do. Nobody cares at all. People only care about what you can do for them and what the changes you can make for them. That's the biggest point. So for me, I think that's the biggest thing, is that I need the confidence, or I need the words, or I need both. How am I going to do that? And how am I going to build a connection with the right people by doing so? And finding the right words. One of the things that pops up for a lot of people all the time is, I can't get this and this working together. So if you're just listening and not watching, I'm pointing to the mouth and the brain, and then everything flows, so it all comes out. Then it makes a lot of sense. The brain goes blank, and I don't know what I'm going to say next. One of my suggestions with that for everybody is to slow down. You're allowed to have a space in your conversation where a lot of people pop in the ums and ahs, but instead just put a full stop. Slow down, and that way it gives you opportunity to think ahead of what you're going to want to say then. So slow down the speech and add the full stop. Funny, I was working with someone the other day, and it's only the second person in all the years I've been coaching and training that I've had to tell them to speed up. It's usually the other way around, because I wanted them to create a lot more enthusiasm and a lot more interest in what they were doing, and they had too many pauses, but the pauses were in the wrong spots. You need to speak as if there is punctuation in your sentences, as if you've got a comma or a full stop, and that will enable you for your audience to hear you, and it'll enable you to think as you go. So that's, when it comes to all of those aspects, that is definitely the biggest component. The problem with a lot of people, I work in a couple of different groups, and the problem with a lot of the people that I work with in the sole trader market. So they're just often starting out in business, or they've been in business for a while. They're usually a very good technician. So they've been good at what they do, and then they start a business. They may have been working for somebody else doing as their marketing manager, or their accountant, or they've had a massage business going on the side, or they're an acupuncturist. And they've been doing that well, and they're a good technician at that. But their expertise is not in what we've been talking about. And even Jan, you last week you talked about websites and people doing their own thing. And that's fine. It does save dollars, but is that what you're an expert in? Is that how you're going to make money? Is by creating a website yourself and spending 10 times as long doing something that someone else could do a lot quicker. And you could be out doing your massages if that's what you're doing. And that's something I always want to speak to people when they're not sure what steps to take next. Then I need to speak to, because I have seen so many people spend tens of thousands of dollars with the wrong coaches, investing in the wrong marketing, and just setting up everything that's not going to work with them because someone told them that they should do this. They should have a podcast. They should. I've had a podcast now for 8 years, so it's got traction because I got in early. If you're going to have a podcast, fantastic, but make sure it's that that you've got an audience that will find that of value. If you're going to write a book, it's the same deal. Is there an audience that will find that of value, or is the book going to be a very fancy business card? Make a decision on that. It's the same with all of your marketing. You need to know who you're having a conversation with and why and what you're doing. So when you're starting out, all of these components, I want to help you. I want to be able to help you make the right decisions. And that's one part I love working with people, because and especially, I've had 166 interviews with my podcast. And what that means is if I can't help, I know somebody can. And there's so many experts out there that I would highly recommend, because I've got to know them personally and their skill base. Because so often that's another problem. You don't know who you're getting. So check out their business site, check out their Google reviews, check out their LinkedIn recommendations, see what they're doing on site, and seeing if they're a real person and they're not just somebody that comes across with all this "I am amazing," but they don't have the runs on the board to back that up. So when it comes to solving all of those, the problems that we have when we're trying to figure out how we get our message to market, and really when it comes down to how do we make more sales, all of it is about how do we get more business and how do we make more sales. And to be able to do that from a really authentic space where you're very comfortable having a conversation is an important aspect to be able to recognize that. So I want to give you a tip here. You don't sell. Now, I've been in sales for 35 years. Don't sell. Don't sell anything. Solve problems. The more problems you solve, the more clients you'll have. So forget about the uncomfortableness of selling. Get into something that you're good at, and it's solving someone's problem. And if you can do that, you will definitely make sales. So some of the people that I've worked with have spoken on international stages around the world. They have, and that's what they wanted to achieve, was to be able to have the confidence and the ability to do that. Had one lady who, first time I heard her stand up and speak, it was for 4 seconds. And then within a few months, she was giving a 40-minute presentation without notes. And knowing how to put all of that together is such an important thing. You've got the confidence to do that. I've had other businesses where they've gone from $0 to be able to be employing other staff to do different tasks because they've been so successful. So it's important, but it's important to do it right and take the right steps. What do you reckon?
Yeah,
Janeen.
absolutely.
Yeah. One of the things,
And I think, I think people think that they're saving money by doing things themselves. Whereas, like you said, really do some homework, do some research, and find out who is going to give you the best bang for your buck, but don't make that the main focus. You need to look at what your results are expected to be,
Mhm.
and work with the professional, because they're the ones that have put lots of time and energy and resources themselves into their own education and to making their business and so better, and so that they can provide better service to their clients as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, and one thing that just came to my mind just then, when you want to buy something like a lawnmower, you don't just buy the cheapest lawnmower. You do some research and you compare a few, and you might get the one that is the most expensive or the one that's the middle of the range. But I typically don't go for the cheapest of anything, because I wonder, firstly, why are they trying to be cheaper than everybody else? How long are they going to stay in business if they're trying to be cheaper than everybody else? Because we're all in business and we know what it's like. If you try and go cheaper than everybody else, you're not going to be around for very long.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Mm.
But the other
What were you
thing,
gonna say, Nora?
Jane, yeah, when you're coming, like for me, because I have to listen to everything. One of the most distracting things, and I know I'm really bad, the ums and the ahs, and I start counting them, or the this, or like, they're probably
Like.
getting to be my
Like.
like, and I feel like saying, well, actually, I don't like. Tell me what you say. But Pete, one of the things that I hope people come and talk to you about, because when you are so reliant on auditory and you get, like, you think that you come across as you really don't know what you're saying, because they just, all those filler words.
I was
find
tipping
it
my
very
10-year-old
frustrating.
grandson on the weekend for all the likes, Narelle.
Oh, were you?
Because his mother uses them all the time, so
Yeah.
he's picked them up. And I said, it's not like a piece of toast, it's a piece of toast.
Yeah.
Is it or isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Did you want to add anything, Lara?
Well, I just want to say I think it's great that you are there, Janeen, to be that person that reminds us of the skill it takes to be able to say something and to say it well. It's one thing for us to be able to speak, and just to sort of speak ad hoc or and off the cuff every day in conversation, but when it comes to doing, a proper business presentation where we're relying on people getting the message or the messages that we have, for them to take away with them. I think it's really important to make sure that we've got the right feedback. Like, Jan is a personal trainer, and when you've got a voice coach, you've got somebody who's like a professional listener.
yeah.
And they'll let you know how something is coming across, if it's making sense, if it's too fast, too slow, where the emphasis is happening, or where if it's not happening, and for the enthusiasm as well, for the energy to be detected and to be received by the listener. And I think it's such an important service that you provide, Janeen. And thank you for being there and reminding us all to think twice about, when we've got a message to share, what is it that, how are we doing that, and how is it being received?
Yeah, thank you. It's it is such and just to get the message clear, and one of the things, and just as we wrap up now, I will say, if you're doing a sales pitch, do not ever, under any circumstances, have you, now you're clear, read it. Do not read your pitch. If you don't know your business, then there's something really wrong. It doesn't matter if you say the wrong words or you don't remember to say something, but at least it's authentic and natural if you say it without reading it.
Yeah.
That's one of the most important aspects, because as soon as someone picks up a phone and starts reading off, it's definitely read and it's not really them, and you've lost all your authority in that. You are the authority in that business because you're reading about yourself.
Can I just ask, Janeen, because I know that it's tempting for people when they want to get something right to read it so that they don't miss anything that they might have wanted to say. So I think that that's perhaps sometimes a little bit more of a nervous tension sort of thing that's really going on for them. So
Definitely.
how would you work with someone, for example, when it's not so much the words, but it's the nervousness, the tension that's, like getting in the way for them? What would
It
you
is very
suggest
hard
there?
with perfectionists, Lara. You might know one of those. It's because you just, I really want to get this perfect. I really want to get this right. And an important factor is to focus on what the audience wants to hear, not what you want to say.
Yeah.
What's in it for the audience? And if you can tell a story in a pitch, then if you've got 40 seconds and you can make a story up that's relevant to should demonstrate what you do, then you don't have to worry about the points that you make, because the story will tell those points.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's just one little point. But
Yeah,
we do need
nice.
to wrap up this conversation. And remember, the contact details for all of us are in the show notes. If there's anything you want to ask any questions, please don't hesitate to do that. And that's another conversation with the Morning Tea Marketing Missus. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to you leaving your comments on the YouTube channel or wherever you may hear or see this particular conversation. Bye-bye for now.
Terrific.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.